Pass is incomplete off the hands of Greg Corky. A rare drop from Greg, and after a solid start to the drive for Albuquerque, they'll end up having to punt the football away around midfield.
That's the type of catch, Cam, you gotta, especially in the playoffs, you gotta bring it in. If it hits your mitts, there's really no excuses.
So the Adams on to punt the football away on their opening possession. And a fair catch called for at the 25-yard line. It looks like the wind is very much at the back of Carolina right now after that kickoff and ensuing punt. Matt South is the Carolina quarterback, but he has not been the focal point of this team, although the team has been much better when he's played great.
Yeah, and back to the wind comment, Cam, in a playoff game, if it starts getting tight at the end of the game, both of these field goal kickers have missed a couple this season, so let's keep an eye on that.
Matt South fires, throws, caught Chase Earl, first down to the 40, so both quarterbacks have completed the shots down the field for a first down on their first throw today.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a run tonight, so I guess that would be a good bet to see which team's going to run first.
Charles, it's like you were setting up for a first date with these coaches and they told you the wrong restaurant.
I'm sitting by myself with flowers in the restaurant booth.
First and 10 at the, I'll come keep you company, buddy. First and 10 at the 42-yard line. Three receivers. They will toss out to Harish Prasad. He will break a tackle. Prasad into Albuquerque territory to the 46-yard line for another Skyhawk first down.
Got the 1-2 punch in Quintero and Prasad last week. 2 touchdowns for Harish. He wants to build on that tonight. I think the defense for the Adams are going to need to keep an eye on those pitches, those runs on the outside. Talking to Joshua Williams before the game, he said look for some safeties playing close to the line, maybe even playing in some linebacker roles. I wouldn't say out of position, but spread it all over the field.
South will throw again. Clean pocket, deep throw. It is incomplete. Bryant James in coverage. Chase Earl was the intended receiver. The Carolina offense, Matt South, Riley Quintero, who leads the SFL in rushing touchdowns with 14, and Harish Prasad in the backfield along with Hattori Hanzo. The receivers, Chase Earl, Chris Curtis, Christian Bachgalupi, not a deep unit, but a reliable one all the same. Tight end is Vince DeSantis on the line. Kate Palmer, Rigatoni, Chris Cross. If you see the numbers 67, 69, or 77, you know someone has made a great play. Second down and 10. Matt South drops to throw, and that pass is incomplete. Albuquerque's number 20, TJ Frosty, in on the coverage in his 5th SFL season, will set up a 3rd and 10.
And I don't think there was a reason for him to get rid of the ball so quickly. I mean, the offensive line for Carolina was giving him enough time. I think he just needs to settle down a little bit and go through his progressions.
Third down, 10 yards to go, and South will drop the pass. He steps up in the pocket, pump fakes, fires down the field, caught by Chris Curtis at the Albuquerque 25-yard line. Are you kidding me?
That is a savvy veteran move. The edge of the pocket, top side of the pocket stops to break down. You build some time by taking a couple steps in the middle, doing a pump fake, frees up some space for your wide receiver, and deliver a perfect throw.
Leo Jefferson was nearly in on the sack. He leads Albuquerque with 9.5 sacks, and he's actually first in the league with 3 forced fumbles. So big number 91 to watch on that Adams defense in this 9-8 matchup. Matt South will now roll to his left. Jefferson chasing, pass caught by Earl to the 11-yard line. First and goal. Matt South has shown up today.
He's showing off, throwing on the run. That's a hard thing to do, throwing the opposite side of the field across body, and just delivered it perfectly there. And it looked like number 90 was starting to get a beat on him, Leo Jefferson, so he had to do something, and that veteran did the right thing.
Carolina's offense, it looked like the two teams were going to end up with similar drives, kind of get around the 50 and then stall out, but Matt South and the rest of this offense has found a way to continue to move the football down the field. First and goal at the 10-yard line. Handoff on a draw. That's Riley Quintero's first carry. Gets it down to about the 2.5. These two teams top 3 in the league in in red zone touchdowns per game. And right now, Carolina knocking on the door.
Perfect play call by Carolina. You got 2, maybe 3 exciting pass plays back to back. to back and come out there with the draw play, catch him off guard, and great execution with the blocking up front.
Carolina executes that delayed handoff probably better than anyone in the SFL. This rushing game has continued to improve all season long. Toss out to Harish Prasad, who's in the end zone. We have our first points of the postseason in season 23. Carolina's up 6-0.
I think they're gonna make use of those edge run plays all night. On that one, we have a pitch, and we also see some rigatoni doing a little pull there. Didn't have to really touch anybody till we were looking at 6 on the board. But that drive, Cam, was really well planned out and well executed. Got a mix of run and pass, and I think it all kind of balanced on South's ability to some extra time with each play when the pocket started breaking down, and the receivers helping them out by holding on to the ball.
An 8-play, 76-yard drive that surprisingly featured only one Riley Quintero run. He's second in the league in carries with 250 coming in to the game, but they opened it up in the passing game to start. South 3 for 5 for 52 yards on that drive, and Chase Earl accounted for 31 of those 52 yards. This kick a little bit not quite as deep, I should say, and the return comes from Michael Knight, who gets it out to the 28-yard line for the Adams. Cyrus Jive just 1 of 4 on that opening drive.
Something to keep an eye on for the line for the Adams. We're looking at 3 rookies there in Porter, Jones, and Williams, going up against some veterans. You got 14-year Colon and Hall, 15 years, Carter 2. They do have a Ricky Hobbs, but man, they're going up against some cagey veterans. Let's see how they hold up.
First down on the 28-yard line for Albuquerque, their second possession of the game. The first ended in a punt. They will shift K. Marion all the way across the field. Got to get hurry up and get set here. They do. First run of the day. That is to Jason Williams to pick up a couple. Williams 793 rushing yards in the regular season. That's 9th, and then 4th in the league in touchdowns with 9.
They're looking at the linebacking core for the Skyhawks, Stinson, McLean, and Prasad. They have a very quick reaction time and very high TFLs for the season as well. All of them have about at least 20, maybe 19, 20.
It's Williams again on the handoff. That'll set up a manageable 3rd down and 4. The Carolina defense includes Hobbs, Cologne, Carter, and Hall up front, as you mentioned. Danny Stinchen, Mojo McLean, and Shravan Prasad at linebacker. The corners are Tristan Hatley, T.D. Jack, and Davidson Joseph. Safety, Skippy Curtis, Mike Ryan, Andy Bari, Amon Eaglin. Play fake from Jive. He will roll out, have all kinds of time, find Greg Corky over the middle for a first down at the 39-yard line.
Good route run by Corky. I mean, it wasn't the sexiest play we're going to see tonight, but it was executed perfectly on that type of play. It's all about timing, and it's all about the offensive line keeping their quarterback clean on that rollout.
Danny Stinson with the last 3 tackles for Carolina. Halfway through the first quarter, Albuquerque continues to move the football. Jive, get deep again down the field, caught by Michael Knight to the 31-yard line. Knight gets in the stat sheet, and Albuquerque has another 20-plus yard completion.
Another well-executed play. Michael Knight is not normally the first read for Jive, but it just shows that they've had very good practices this week. I mean, that's all about timing. I said it earlier. Half a second late, you would have been looking at throwing it into coverage.
That was Mike Ryan in coverage. Not only does he lead his team in tackles, but also leads his team in interceptions as well with 6. Tried to get one there, and Michael Knight beat him to the ball. Jack Wall goes in motion, 1st and 10 with 4:46 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Carolina in the 9-8 matchup of the wild card. Jive fires, incomplete. Corky got absolutely crushed down the field. Skippy Curtis in coverage, 2nd down.
Yeah, I mean, it hit him in the midst. I know they're going to get hit. I mean, you're catching in the middle like that, you can expect it, but we're looking at a big-time game here, and I think he's kicking himself for not being able to hold on to that.
Jive with an empty backfield, 5 wide on 2nd and 10. Knight will go in motion. Give us a 2-by-3 look. Dime for Carolina. Jive. Pocket collapsing. Jive. Michael Knight. First down inside the 15-yard line. Knight has been sure-handed in the first quarter.
I'm really impressed with Jive going through his progressions on that one. Carolina showed a 3-deep zone. They also dropped one of their linemen back into coverage. And that, when you have that type of play, you got to look for those middle routes right between the bubbles of the zone coverage. And it's back to timing again. I mean, they've been practicing this. They've got a pretty solid book on offense, and they've been executing it to perfection so far.
First down, Jive will throw again. Fires into the end zone. That pass is incomplete. Looking for K. Marion Ryan in coverage. Cyrus Jive has been pressured a bunch this season. Third most sacks in the league with 25, but Carolina fifth worst in the SFL with just 15 sacks on their season.
Yeah, and they've got aggressive linebackers and cornerbacks, and I think they feel confident dropping them back and bringing the game to them.
Jive to throw. Looking for an open receiver across his body. Touchdown, K. Marion. What a dime from Cyrus Jive. Now 5 of 10 and a score.
You're on the road, Cam, in a playoff game, a big playoff game. A lot of these players for the Adams, this is the first time they're in the spotlight, the big lights of the playoffs for the SFL. And I'm really impressed at the way they responded. You got to respond on the road when the home team smacks you in the mouth, and we saw that on that drive.
That is K. Marion's 50th career touchdown, and coincidentally, that is 50th all-time in the SFL. So congratulations to K for the score, and we are all knotted up at 7 with 4:07 to go. Just like you said, Charles, what a response. Another 8-play drive, 70-plus yards to counter Carolina's 8-play, 70-plus yard drive, and we got a good one shaping up in Raleigh.
Yeah, definitely, and I'll go back to some of the comments I made on that last series. A lot of timing plays, showing and highlighting the good blocking of those three rookies on the line, and also the rapport and timing and practice between the wide receivers and the quarterback.
Shot is wrapped up on the 29-yard line. This Albuquerque defense includes Chris Porter, Leo Jefferson, Joshua Williams up front, Seth Berlin and William Patterson at linebacker, Keenan Samuels inactive. Corners, Amar Bryant Jr. and Daniel Valentine. The safeties, TJ Frosty, Jack Napier, and Bryant James. Handoff goes to Riley Quintero for just the second time today, and Leo Jefferson, their best defensive line weapon, gets a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, he finished it off. It looked like outside linebacker Ayo Deli, if I'm saying that right, started it off by slowing him down and allowing some backup to come finish.
Second and long. 3 up to the top of the screen for Carolina in the pass pattern. South will fire that direction. That is Christian Bachagalupi with the catch. They mark him short. I would imagine that would be challenged unless Carolina doesn't want to burn it too early.
I mean, they've got the horses to run it up the middle. I don't know if I'd roll the dice on that one, but Cam, they lined up in a bunch, and the wide receiver ran right into coverage, and South is feeling pretty confident tonight. Threw right into the coverage. 2 other from that bunch kind of went out on the swing routes and were wide open.
3rd and short. They stay confident in their running game, and Riley Quintero will pick up a first down to keep the drive moving. Matt South has started 4 for 6 for 63. He's hit 3 different targets, all of his star receivers. 2:50 left in the first quarter. Matt South again to throw. Fires down the field. Caught by Chase Earl right through the paws of Bryant James. There is an injured player. It's Daniel Valentine. Albuquerque already thin at corner. That could be a problem. Amar Bryant Jr. now their lone healthy contracted player.
Matt South is on fire, Cam. I mean, he threw it in between Valentine. Hopefully Valentine gets up, gets back in the game, and James weaved it right in between both of them, and he's been doing that all night so far.
3 receivers, 2 in the backfield for South, who's having one of his better games, at least so far. Carolina's put him in a good position to succeed so far. Nickel look for the Adams in their atomic green helmets and then the white and black jerseys. That is Seth Berlin making the stop for a loss of 1.
That hopefully Valentine gets back in, because that's going to hurt. They've got 5 deep defensive backs. Not having Valentine in there, I think, could show a weakness on nickel and dime coverage.
South going to take off and run, has a lot of space, and gets a first down to the 28-yard line. Took a big hit as well, but South nearing 100 rushing yards on the season after that last run.
It's another veteran move. All the wide receivers were covered. Had to do something. Didn't want to throw it away. Looked like there was a good hole up the middle and was able to put some yards on it and get a first down.
Carolina responding with to Albuquerque's 8-play drive with now a 6-play drive. First down at the Adam 26-yard line. Delay. Quintero has an easy 5. Makes it 2nd and mid for the Skyhawks in their white helmets today.
I mean, the only thing, the one word that pops into my mind thinking about the Carolina offense is confidence. I mean, they are just, confidence is bubbling over every play, it looks like.
Carolina looking for their 2nd playoff win in franchise history as they hand it off to Prasad. Gets the first down into the red zone. They beat the Tulsa Desperados back in season 20 for their first playoff win. Have not been to the playoffs again since, but trying to make it happen today. First down after the first down run, and South will fire into the end zone. Incomplete. Double coverage looking for Chase Earl. Again, Bryant James was in on coverage.
Dangerous. I mean, I hold my breath every time Matt South is throwing it. I mean, he has no fear tonight. He'll throw it anywhere. You know, the bread box could be as small as possible. It's not going to keep him from trying to, drill it in there.
South next to last in quarterback efficiency this season, but has had some bright games this season. Just a very up and down campaign as Quintero gets the carry. Will set up a more manageable 3rd down and 5. Carolina is a perfect 2 for 2 so far on 3rd down.
I think they've got a lot of options here, Cam, on 3rd and 5. I mean, they've shown a lot of success running to the outside, and maybe and on those rollouts as well. I think they've got their whole book available here.
3rd and 5, bunch to the left. South rolls opposite direction. He'll fire middle, looking for Earl, and that is incomplete. Amar Bryant Jr. stepping in, although that shows as Springs. That might have been another player coming in for Valentine. Either way, 4th down.
And that's unfortunate. I mean, they had a very good drive going, and that it looked like the ball got to them just a little late.
Malone Brown's kick is up and good. And with 25 seconds left after a 12-play, 60-yard, 3-minute, 42-second drive for Carolina, they retake the lead 10-7. We've had only one drive so far, result in no points, and now it's the Adams' turn.
And you can't be too angry with the Adams defense on that one. I mean, they lost one of their starting cornerbacks, but were able to kind of buckle down, and Carolina got in the red zone and keep them from getting it in.
Albuquerque gives up 1.8 touchdowns in the red zone per game. That is middle of the pack in the SFL. So 1st and 10 at the 20. We've liked what we've seen out of Cyrus Jive as well, showing up big in his first playoff game too. It's his 5th season in the league, but he spent time in Portland, so this is new to him as well. Jive drops to throw. Jive rolling, firing, and Mike Ryan almost made an incredible play downfield, 2nd and 10.
Well covered downfield, but one of the thoughts that crossed my mind is in playoff games like this, big tight end plays, I think, are what we need. I mean, we've got DeSantis on Carolina's side. We've got Jack Wall. I think you got to get them engaged.
Jive to throw, 2nd and 10. He'll take off and run, but an extremely aggressive approach there. I think that was TD Jack coming off his line to make a tackle in the open field. That sets up a 3rd down and 5 after we return from the end of the quarter break. Albuquerque 7, Carolina 10, and we will be back to Raleigh, Carolina in a moment. Aerial coverage of today's game provided by Dags Droneworks, aerial photography and videography services for real estate, events, marketing, and more. Learn more at dagsdroneworks.com. That is a look at the Museum of Arts. And
I thought it was Harifa's compound.
Yeah, I've heard things get pretty wild there.
You need a special ticket to get into the Prasad compound.
No, not the Prasad. I don't think the drones have access in there.
Oh, shoot them down.
3rd down and 5. They probably do. Jack Wall in motion, looking for his first target. K. Marion's been targeted 6 times. Jive down the field, looking for Wall. It's incomplete. Davis and Joseph in on the stop, and Albuquerque will have to punt for the 2nd time.
A good series by the Carolina defense. Not seeing I guess for both teams, not seeing a ton of aggressive defense. It looks like they're kind of sitting back and waiting for the quarterbacks to make some mistakes.
Is away from the 31-yard line. This is Prasad on the return up to the 41. Your first quarter stats look like this. Carolina with 137 yards, on pace for a big day. 8 first downs in that quarter, but only up 3.
I think the headline so far has been the play of both quarterbacks.
Jive, inefficient, but 94 yards and a touchdown, no picks. Matt South, 5 for 9 for 84 yards. And number 84, Chris Curtis, goes in motion. He's got 1 catch for 21 yards. Earl's been targeted 7 times. Everyone else just twice. This is a dump off to Riley Quintero, who is going to drag Bryant James for a long 3-yard gain.
And they don't throw to their halfbacks a lot. And Quintero, I don't think Prasad's had any receptions this season. When they do throw it, it's to Quintero, and that was a pretty smart play on 1st down. Even though it got 3, it's a good way to mix things up and keep the defense guessing.
Just 24 combined catches for their receivers out of the backfield, just an average of 2 per game. 2nd down and 7. Albuquerque throws a lot more to their halfbacks than Carolina does, but we haven't seen that so far today. That's Harish Prasad, no call on a face mask. He's actually going to break away and get the 1st down. Maybe a bit of a makeup call from the 3rd and inches earlier.
Yeah, I think that was a very healthy spot there by the officiating crew, but Albuquerque defense has to do something about those outside runs. So far, they haven't shown an ability to stop them.
Quintero on 1st down gets 4, so Albuquerque little by little starting to pick up on that 1st down delay. 2nd and 6. Going heavy here. Vince DeSantis without a target so far on the line. They'll toss it that direction. A couple of blocks picked up, and Harish Prasad is loose. Prasad having himself a 1st half, and he had a brilliant game against Indianapolis last week with 2 rushing and 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. He's already got a touchdown today and a lot of yards.
Look at this blocking, Cam. There's hat on hat, and Prasad was just able to slip through the blockers and just fight for those extra yards.
49 yards on just 5 carries, and Hattori Hanzo was leading the charge along with Rigatoni again on the outside of that pitch. 1st down and 10. Carolina on the move again. Hand off to Quintero on a delay. 4-yard pickup. Albuquerque still looking for their first stop in this game. Carolina scored on their first 2 drives.
They've been showing that very effective running game, and not so bad on the passing either. Just think that, like they said, like Harish said, they're going to lean on their running game a lot tonight.
Prasad again, 1st down to the 13-yard line. And what's so impressive, they're kind of sticking to the script with Riley Quintero, but with Harish Prasad, Charles, he's just following Hanzo all over the field.
Why not? I mean, Hanzo's a beast, one of the best blockers out there in the SFL. I mean, if you want to stick behind someone, that's a pretty smart decision. He's gonna take you to the promised land.
Now 6 for 57 for Prasad in the 1st half. 10-7 Carolina. This is playoff football, no doubt. Handoff, Quintero. And Riley will get another 5. And when you can get 4 or 5 yards on every first down, Charles, you're staying ahead of the sticks and keeping things easy.
Yeah, not bad. And I know they're scratching their head on the Albuquerque side. I think they expect it going up the middle, but that front line of Carolina is just executing it so perfectly.
Under 7 to go, 2nd down and 5. Bacigalupi goes in motion. South going to throw. South fires short. That's Vince DeSantis, who nearly had his first touchdown of the season, but he does move the chains to get him inside the 5.
Yeah, I've said it before. Both the tight ends out. Starting tight ends for both teams. You need to get them utilized because they are money, especially in the middle, short, medium range. When you need those yards, throw it to your tight end on either side, and it's going to be a good game.
Riley Quintero got it, they say. The nose of the football, touchdown, Carolina.
We've seen a couple really, really good drives out of Carolina tonight, and the Albuquerque defense has not been able to show an answer against that run game. We saw those delayed handoffs up the middle, 4 yards, 5 yards a pop, running on the outside, 5+. And, we may be looking at another play here if it doesn't go Carolina's way.
So here's the challenge. Take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retro. I don't think we're going to get a better camera angle here, unfortunately.
Yeah, that looks close.
On first glance, I think he's short.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's short.
So it'll be 2nd and goal at about the goal line, and Carolina will have to wait a little longer to celebrate. They're going to run out of fireworks here, Charles, at that rate. They had an 11-play drive on the 26-yard field goal, and now this is play number 9 of this drive. So every drive they've had has been efficient and proficient.
I missed the Jets cam in the end zone. I want to see some missiles getting fired out when they scored a touchdown.
Budget cuts. 2nd and goal, delay, and look at that. Riley Quintero just leaps over a downed lineman and gets back into the end zone anyway. Touchdown, Carolina, 16-7 with an extra point coming.
Great. I said it before, right before that touchdown was called back. A quality drive by Carolina. They are executing the run game to perfection. I think Albuquerque's expecting it and to some extent knows where they're going to run to. It's just being executed so perfectly by that offensive line, and the running backs are making the right adjustments, going through the right holes, and they're looking at good gains, and we're looking at 16-7.
Carolina averages 298 total yards a game. That's actually 20th in the SFL. That's a 10-play, 59-yard drive, but right now, Charles, 196 already this afternoon is pretty impressive.
If you would ask me to tell you what kind of year they had from a rushing standpoint, just looking at this game, I'd say they'd be a top 5 rushing team. Easy.
On the return, Ronnie Shanahan gets out of the 28-yard line. And I think for Carolina, the big surprise of their season, what sort of brought them to this next level, Charles, has been this makeshift backfield is how it started. Riley Quintero and Harish Prasad converted wide receivers. Most teams have not had a lot of success with that, long term in the SFL. But Carolina, with this roster, has just found a way and found their footing.
Definitely, and I think it goes down to the coaching, the playbook, spending a lot of time watching the plays and testing them out. And I think they've figured out the secret sauce when it comes to running.
Jive back to pass to start the drive, and this one is incomplete. That one looked like it kind of sailed on him. Again, intended for K. Marion, just 2 catches on 7 targets.
Yeah, I'm shocked at this point of the game. We're only looking at, if I'm looking at this correctly, 3 rushing attempts by Albuquerque.
And no throws to their guys out of the backfield. Jack Wall, no catches either. Jive dropping to throw, and that one is caught. K. Marion beats one on the defense, now in a foot race all the way into Carolina territory. Marion finally able to break free from this vicious Skyhawk secondary.
What the heck do I know, Cam? Throw it to Corky, Marion, sprinkle a little Wall in there, Charles, and just shut up.
If at first you don't succeed, I mean, they really like that matchup with Marion, and look, that's why. I mean, Marion can deliver on the big plays.
And Jive, Jive's starting to feel it too. So that was a very, very impressive play by Albuquerque.
133 for Cyrus, and incomplete. That hit with a helmet on the football from TD Jack makes it 2nd and 10.
That's the type of hit, hat-on-hat play that you see from a linebacker. I mean, rarely you see cornerbacks making those type of hits.
Albuquerque on the move, but can they keep it going? Jive fires a little low, but a nice adjustment to the football for Jack Wall. So 3rd and 4 coming up, just 1 of 4 on 3rd down so far.
I don't think Jack Wall turned his head on that one. The ball just floated over his shoulder, and he had his mitts out, and it landed in there like a newborn baby.
8 up front. Carolina brings pressure, and Jack Wall dropped the baby. 4th and 4.
Yep. GPS is going to be looking at that one.
That is disappointing for Albuquerque, and because Ricky Bobby just does not have the distance, Charles, the Adams have to punt the football.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Why don't I'd just go for it.
Just 8 of 10 on the season for Ricky Bobby, but the long is just 38. He dropped it, and it's loose. Carolina will maintain possession, but a scary moment is that punt hung up in the air and nearly caused a turnover. 1st down for Carolina at the 15.
That was Prasad Harish back there, right?
Yes.
Juggling the ball, yeah. Wow, come on, Harish.
Dangerous. Got a lot of CPS officers scouting today.
I think that's the worst role in football, is being a punt returner.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. 4:53 to go in the first half. Albuquerque has now punted 3 of their 4 drives, but neither team has a turnover. That is a handoff to Riley Quintero for 3.
I was, just about to say, good on Albuquerque for stopping them behind the line, but Quintero just kept plugging along and knocked out 3.
Hanzo in the backfield with Prasad. And Prasad is following him along and picks up 6 as Hanzo was looking for a blocker. 3rd and short.
I don't think I've seen maybe one or 2 plays. It's been a loss on the run. We've been, running at will all night so far, Cam.
And when you get your stat line on the screen basically every time after you run, you're having a pretty good day. Handoff to Riley Quintero, got the 1st down, although Albuquerque was pretty quick to get on him. Under 4 to go in the first half. Charles, coming up tonight, Charleston and Fort Worth with Cameron Duty and Rochelle Colston on the call. And Charles, I don't know what to make of either of those teams as they both have lost 2 out of 3 coming into the postseason. Somebody's got to win that ball game, get to the quarterfinal.
Definitely. I wouldn't know who to pick. I really wouldn't. I mean, I think it's going to be a close game.
Charleston's had a history of pulling some first-round upsets as you look at Prasad's run there again on 1st down. But Fort Worth not known for early postseason exits. The Toros have won 3 straight first-round playoff games and 4 out of 5 in their history. 2nd down and 3:12 to go in the first half. Handoff, look at the blocking. Riley Quintero keeping the legs churning up to the 43.
They've got a very good balance between Quintero and Prasad. 14 attempts to 8, and both of them have 4 yards average or higher. Again, Albuquerque's got to do something. They've got to put more people in the box, something to stop that run game of Carolina.
Hattori Hanzo's the unsung hero of this offense. I mean, he just does all the dirty work in the trenches, and he has gotten block after block today. He gets a little bit of a break on this play, and Prasad picks up 3 more. Carolina started strong with the pass, but it's now 24 runs to 11 passes.
I also saw a play or two where they had the second fullback, Sam Gash, out there knocking heads around. I mean, so when Hanzo goes to the bench, you got another option in Gash as a fullback that are pretty reliable.
Hanzo's back, couldn't find the block, and one of the first times in a while Albuquerque's been able to make a stop, and now it's back to into Matt South's hands to make a play. Bryant James with his 6th tackle, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. Carolina has scored on all 3 of their drives in the first half. Can they make it 4 for 4? You're watching the SFL postseason on SFL YouTube.
I've got a comment to make. I'm a little hesitant to say it, but I think the last 2 games we did, Cam, maybe 3 games, we didn't have an interception in the first half.
He just had to go there.
Yep. You told me to say it.
No, don't do that. Christian Bachagalupi goes in motion from right to left. Empty set for South. And Matt South's pass is incomplete. Bachagalupi was the intended target.
I got a little nervous there. Thought the Prasad's brothers are going to roll up in a van outside my house.
Christian with a key drop there on 3rd down. And for the Skyhawks, they are now 3 for 5 on 3rd down conversion, so they'll have to punt it away for the first time.
Oh, man, they've got plenty of time to put some points on the board. At this point, you can't beg. Just at least get 3. I mean, narrow it down to one touchdown lead. I think you'll be pretty happy going into the locker room at halftime.
Shanahan tackled by Skippy Curtis, who's nearly the tackling leader right now for Carolina today, and I'm surprised he did not call for a fair catch on that, because Curtis forced the fumble last week against Indianapolis on a punt return that resulted in a Carolina touchdown. So 1st down and 10, Albuquerque down just 10. It's caught by Kay Marion. How about that for opportunistic wide receiver play?
I thought we were looking at our first sack of the game, but man, that was good heads-up play by Marion to bring that in.
And still 0 negative plays in the first half for Albuquerque. That's Jason Williams picking up 4, just their 4th run of the game to 18 passes for the Adams.
That's one of the shocking things so far for me this first half. Albuquerque hasn't run the ball more.
1:06 to go. Maybe thinking about getting this first down before burning a timeout. Jive fires wide open. Kay Marion, they just forgot about her. And she gets it near midfield to force or to start the timeout process for the Adams.
It's like every time I say something about the Albuquerque running game, they throw it deep to Marion. So if I keep doing this, they're going to have 500 yards passing.
5 for 94 for Kay. Great first half on 9 targets. That is just crazy. 10 targets, actually. Wall goes in motion. Jive takes the play clock down, checks it down underneath to Wall. That'll get 4 yards. And the Adams don't want to go into no huddle just yet.
Yeah, I think that was his only option. I mean, they sent a 4-man, just a standard, rush up the middle, and they were starting to break down the pocket. So Jive had to get rid of that ball quickly.
Jive 10 of 20, 161, 1 touchdown, no picks, QBR of 94. 3 in the pattern. Wall stays in the block. Jive fires incomplete, looking for Marion again, but Shravan Prasad jumped back into coverage and got his mitts on it. 3rd down.
Yeah, he had his mitts on it. Prasad's got to bring that in. I mean, I'd love to watch a game where Prasad gets an interception. It seems like every time I see games with him, he bobbles it, and guys in their locker room give him a little grief for not being able to bring it in.
Does happen. He's got 13 for his career. Jive checks it down, but Kay Marion fell over. That was Tristan Hatley putting the bad juju on Marion. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, quick reaction speed by the secondary of Carolina will force them into a punt, and I don't think they have enough time to put more points on the board, but, man, Carolina's played great this first half.
A little surprised Albuquerque didn't go for it, but they're just bleeding some clock here on that 4th and 7 late in the half. They will play it safe, try to pin him, and almost did. Just a 2-yard difference there. 9 seconds left for Carolina. Likely not to get too aggressive.
Yeah, Cam Buzz is a little beefy out there for a punter, 6'5", 270.
Yeah, he's first to the buffet line, I think.
It definitely is. And he does many waves.
2nd down and 9, or second quarter with 9 seconds left. 1st and 10, Matt South will just check a safe throw over to Chris Curtis, pick up 4, pad some stats, and that brings us to the end of the first half. Charles, Albuquerque hanging in this thing, but Carolina feels very much in control right now.
Yeah, and they did it on a very impressive running game. Matt South didn't make any mistakes. Carolina in general didn't make any mistakes. Defense wasn't terribly aggressive, just kind of waiting for Albuquerque to make a mistake. So far, both quarterbacks have been pretty clean here, but I think what stands out to me is just the execution of the playbook on the Carolina side, particularly in the running game.
Look at some of the key halftime stats. Matt South, 8 of 13 for 100 yards. I think Albuquerque probably expected Carolina to run a lot, but the fact that he has kept Albuquerque's secondary honest, I think, has been a big deal. Kay Marion, your player of the half, 6 for 93 and a touchdown, has been really remarkable on 12, count them, 12 targets. That's almost more than Matt South has attempts in this game. Let's take a 30-second halftime break presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
An Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Start of the second half in Raleigh, and break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, brakesgpt.com. That was Christian Bacigalupi on that kick return. Checked on the status of Daniel Valentine at the half. Dislocated elbow. He is out.
Oh my gosh, and Cam, you were a little fancy there with the Raleigh. Wow, I gotta step it up a little bit.
I've been going to too many restaurants that don't have paper napkins.
Ooh, nice fancy pants.
Yeah. I'm upping the standards, up in the game. Riley Quintero, not much there on a little misdirect as Albuquerque got a couple guys to wrap up, including Jack Napier.
Maybe a little adjustment there, Cam. I mean, that's what they needed to do. I mean, they've been going to that well a lot, and it's good to see him stop it here on the first play in the second half.
Daniel Valentine in the chat. Poor guy wants back in. Hand off to Harish Prasad. Will set up a 3rd down and 3. And it almost kind of feels like right now, Charles, that Carolina is just content to be up 17-7 forever. Relying on their defense. Albuquerque's going to have to make a play.
Well, I mean, why not? I mean, when you're running like that, why roll the dice too much?
South deep, almost through a dangerous or made a dangerous play. That was Jack Napier with the pass deflection. He now has 12 of those on the season. Top 3 in the SFL, but only 2 picks. Got to hold on to it.
Yeah, especially this, said a couple times so far. This type of game with so much on the line, you gotta bring it in.
Punt is away, and Albuquerque's got a little bit of a space to return. They'll get it out to the 20-yard line. We'll see what adjustments they have offensively, and maybe that will involve some more work out of their backfield.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've got Jason and Justin. I haven't seen a lot of Justin, but I'm always a big fan of getting the fullback involved, and I think good things happen. Let's see if maybe we see that type of adjustment.
Just Jason out there at the moment. Nickel look for Albuquerque, and Jive will start the half with a throw. That's Jack Wall with a one-handed beauty. First down over the middle of the field.
And another good catch by Wall. I mean, keep going to the tight end. I mean, you got a tight end that's showing how dangerous they are on the field. It makes the defense a little have to worry with that tight end coming out on the edge. Quarterbacks need to or look right in the middle there when they get a lot of pressure, and you got that tight end and a reliable tight end, and good things happen.
8.5 to go in the third quarter. Cyrus Jive will toss it again. No, he won't. Taken down in the backfield, and Jason Williams says, bro, why didn't you throw it? Mojo McClain with the takedown, his third sack of the season.
Third sack of the season, and they sent an extra linebacker in there on blitz. I didn't see a lot of that in the first half, and threw a new wrinkle in there, I think, for the second half, and Albuquerque's got to do an adjustment.
Second down, 16 after the 6-yard loss. Mojo McClain with the first negative play for Albuquerque in this game. Michael Knight goes in motion. He's got 46 yards on just 2 catches, hasn't been targeted. They looked maybe to him. Oh, Stinson almost caught it off the back of Michael Knight. 3rd and long coming up.
I tell you, Carolina is running the heck out of those fan stunts. See the tight ends and the ends just go to the outside and try and get around the blocking scheme. And it's, with the 4-down rush, it's been showing to put enough pressure on Jive.
3rd and long, Jive throws it deep into traffic. Another bouncing ball over the middle, and that had no chance. Both defenses strong to start the third quarter.
I think Albuquerque's going to need to start thinking about keeping a back in the backfield there, or an extra tight end to give Jive some time. I mean, that ball was clearly released early. Didn't have time to go through the progressions. You could say that it took too long for those plays to develop, the routes to develop, but you need to be able to keep your quarterback clean.
From the 29, Harish Prasad up to the 34-yard line. For the Skyhawks, things reseed after the wild card round, so not sure who Carolina or Albuquerque would play. It depends on what we see. However, if Carolina were to win as the 8 seed, they would more than likely take on, or would take on actually, the number 4 seed Florida Storm in the next round as a reseed, as Riley Quintero takes the handoff. I totally botched that, Charles. That is 100% not true, and do not listen to anything I say.
What did you say?
Perfect. I meant if everything is chalk and all the favorites win, then Carolina would be taking on Canton as the highest rated team coming out of it. No, that's not right. I don't know what is wrong with me. Harish Prasad is a first down. Somebody yanked me off the stage with a cane.
Yeah, check, please.
Would have been better, Charles, if you just had dinner alone.
The flowers are starting to wilt.
And our Vince DeSantis goes in motion. First down and 10 at the 48. South hands it off to Quintero, picking up just 3, 2nd and 7.
I think that's the lowest result for that delay handoff we've seen tonight, only 3.
Yeah, it started around 7, and it's creeped down to about 3, so Albuquerque certainly made an adjustment.
Quintero, I think the adjustment at first is the stunt they're running. When you go outside, all 4 to go outside routes on a stunt, you're going to leave that middle open.
Skippy went with the 199 super chat and duly noted as Harish Prasad is stopped in the backfield by William Patterson. That is the third negative play for Carolina today, and a big 3rd and 8 coming up.
And that's great pursuit by Patterson. Came from the opposite side of the field to run the running back down from behind.
Matt South with pretty good protection, tried to squeeze that one into Bacigalupi. That would have been a very difficult catch, and more great defense out of both these teams in the 3rd quarter.
That is the type of series that you can build on. I mean, I think Albuquerque has something to be excited about. I mean, they executed well. We saw a couple adjustments there, and they're getting the ball back. And let's see if that momentum, that excitement, goes over to the offensive side.
I think if you're Carolina, you got to be feeling just a little bit nervous with what's going on here as that punt drifts into the end zone. They scored on their first 3 possessions. They have now punted on their last 3 possessions, and on those drives, just 28, 7, and 5 yards. So they're going in the wrong direction, Charles, and Albuquerque has shown they have big play ability today.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, the way we've been talking, it sounds like, Carolina's up by 28 points, but Albuquerque's been hanging in there.
3 different receivers, all with 20-plus yard catches today. They go back to the ground. Jason Williams will pick up 4. He's up to 14 yards on 4 carries.
To my previous point, I think a part of the success here for Albuquerque for their offense, I think is going to rely on getting the Williams brothers involved a little bit more.
2nd down, 6, toss, and Carolina was bringing some pressure off that side. A loss of 2 and a perfect play call from the Skyhawk defense. $5 super chat from Sultan. Harish squats 500 pounds. Hashtag Thunder Thighs. Do they ever call you Thunder Thighs, Charles?
Wow. HR? I need to send a...
Not here. I just, throughout life. Have you ever been called Thunder Thighs?
I like gravy. I just realized it's not a beverage a couple weeks ago, but come on now.
Cyrus Jive. Michael Knight continues his fantastic afternoon here. Picks up a 1st down for the Adams.
Wow. I'm still trying to recover from that one, but yeah, good route run there by Knight. And Jive just put it right where only Knight could catch it.
There's Jive's updated numbers, having a pretty good day. Michael Knight also coming over from Portland with Jive, so they have that rapport. This is a Jason Williams 9-yard run.
Nice run, something to build on. Good blocking up front, but after he got through the blocking on the line, it was all him.
Knight's been coming on strong, 3 100-yard games in his 4K23 career, but had 102 yards on 4 catches in their last game against Pittsburgh on September 20th. That's the last time he logged a reception. That run leaves them short, 3rd and inches.
Yeah, and you gotta give a shout out to Stinson on that one. That was he dropped the whole lumber yard on top of him on that play.
Really missing Craig Reynolds down the stretch of this season, but Jason Williams is going to pick up the 1st down and more into Carolina territory at the 49-yard line.
Good. I mean, this is something they're building on. You can see a little momentum, on the Albuquerque side. They've shown some really good runs. That front line looks like they're a little fired up. Maybe got a little stern talking to there at halftime.
5.4 yards per play. Pretty good stat there for Albuquerque. Back to the ground. And a 4-yard pickup is there for the Adams. That is Darren Diedrich, the backup now with Reynolds out.
A bunch of options here, Cam. I hope they keep trying to do more runs.
2nd and 6. Justin Williams in to get a block, pick up a block, didn't need it. Jason Williams has a 1st down. He is running. This is his best series now, over or nearly 40 yards now on 7 carries.
He's a beast. I mean, give him the ball, good things happen. And also, those 3 rookies up front, Porter, Jones, and Williams are starting to get a little fired up too and hitting a little extra harder.
Albuquerque 1-5 on the road this season, beat Bossier City 24-13. Carolina has not lost at home since week 6 of last season against Minnesota, 30-17. Nothing there for Diedrich. Will set up a 2nd and 10. Danny Stinson now up to 8 tackles. The team as a whole have 24.
Yeah, Stinson is he's been playing really, really well tonight, and he's been every hit he makes, he's leaving a mark.
Look at all the space at the top of the screen. They've hit Marion on a quick throw before. This time Cyrus Jive looking for something deeper. Now will take off and wrapped up from behind by McLean, who chased him down. That was athletic.
That was athletic, and you know the defense, the secondary for Carolina just kind of sat back in that deep zone coverage, waiting for the routes to come to them. Good time to make some adjustments on a little more short routes and medium routes for Albuquerque.
3rd down and 5. Jive throws, caught by Knight to the 15-yard line. Albuquerque moves the chains.
I mean, Knight's been playing like an all-star out there. Great route running, great adjustment there, turning around there to catch the ball. It just floated over the head of Prasad, or the shoulder pads of Prasad. Accurate pass by Jive, and he's got some good numbers there.
Jive now over 200 yards, best drive in a long time for Albuquerque. Jive to throw. Fires, end zone, and Mike Ryan knocks it away.
I thought that was going to be a fabulous catch by Marion, but again, Mike Ryan, he knows how to hit too. I mean, he's the leader back there in the secondary.
Both offenses in the red zone have been pretty efficient this season, but we've seen defenses step up at times so far today. This is Corky in motion. Empty backfield for Jive on the 15-yard line. They trust him to get it in to the blue paint, but he's sacked again by McLean. Ching, ching, 3rd and 15.
4th sack of the season for McLean. Only sent 4. The linebacker and the rest of the defensive back drop back into coverage again, and they just put enough pressure with their creative use of stunts against that that offensive line of Albuquerque, and they didn't know how to answer it.
3rd and long now for the Adams. Their drive slipping away. They can't afford a sack here. It might actually knock them out of field goal range. 5 of 11 on 3rd down today. Jive to throw. Watch McLean. He has to dump it off. That pass is caught for just a 1-yard pickup, and if Jive wouldn't have thrown that, McLean would have had his 3rd sack.
And the defensive end, with one of those fan stunts, was able to get around the tackle and pressure Jive. Didn't have a good timing to let that play develop, and that right there was a case of some good aggressive attack by the defensive line of the Skyhawks.
And in the 3rd quarter, we'll be right back.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Rochelle Colston, Ron Haynes in the stats truck, Charles Doherty and Cameron Irvine here with you in the booth to start the season 23 postseason. Ricky Bobby, 8 for 10 on the season. That field goal is just inside the right upright, and it makes it a 1-score game.
It didn't start pretty, Cam, but it finished pretty. I mean, it did not. I thought that was going into the corn dog stand on the right.
1 yard off his season high, and Albuquerque has successfully kept themselves in this football game. Now Carolina's offense, that has not done much in this second half, needs to try to create some separation from the 5-yard line. It'll be Bacigalupi on the return, and Bacigalupi gets past the 30 to the 31.
I mean, I think at this point you can say Albuquerque's play here in the second half has been scrappy. I mean, they've been staying in the game, and they haven't been doing a lot of, exciting, eye-opening plays. It's just been steady and constant and executing like their coaches are asking them to.
78 to 21 in total yards in the second half. 5 to 1 in first downs in the second half, as the Skyhawks really have not had the football all that much. First down, protecting a 7-point lead. The winner goes to the quarterfinals. Handoff, Quintero. And that'll get 4 to make it 2nd down and 6. All right, Charles, I want to try one more time. If all the home teams win, Carolina would play Canton next week. That's a real thing in the 1-8 quarterfinal matchup. That's if all the home teams win. 2nd down for the Skyhawks, and that gets 3 more. Now it's 3rd down and 3. The whole playbook's open. Tackle made by Napier.
It wasn't so hard, Cam. I think you did a really good job. I think we all appreciate that. The execution was flawless.
Just wish
I called Ron DeSantis on this one. They're probably going to run it, but sneaking a Ron DeSantis.
You mean Vince? Third and 3.
No, the governor. I call him the governor.
Oh, okay. First and 10 of the 41-yard line.
He probably doesn't like it, but I call him that.
Riley Quintero gets the first down, and Carolina now 4 for 9 on 3rd.
Ron DeSantis played tight end for the Naval Academy.
It's all coming together.
Oh,
First down, 8:35 to go. Handoff. Harish Prasad gets a couple. Bryant James there for the stop. The safeties now for Albuquerque have combined for 24 of the team's 31 solo tackles. $8:15 to go in the 4th. Another run. That is Quintero getting 4. 3rd and short coming up.
I love it when you can tell a team's doing well when they're running effectively out of those spread formations.
Carolina playing with fire here, having to convert a lot of 3rd downs. 3rd and 4, under 8 to go. Toss. Prasad, nowhere to go. Albuquerque all over them. They can get the ball back to tie.
The rookie Seth Berlin, probably one of his biggest plays this season in a playoff game, shut down one of the better running backs in the league in the backfield. Stop the drive.
From the 11, Shanahan on the return to the 19-yard line. Man, 7:18 is a lot of time, Charles.
That's plenty of time. And I think the key here, though, is they got to have a sustained drive. It's probably elementary here, but the worst thing to happen was to get that defense for Albuquerque back on the field. The way Carolina's playing, late in the game like this, the defense of Albuquerque is going to get gassed.
Albuquerque nearly more total yards now than the Skyhawks. Toss play out to Jason Williams. Not much there. Danny Stinson and company there for the wrap-up. That's Skippy Curtis again, playing some valuable minutes here in the playoffs.
Yeah, and good tackling too. I mean, 5'11", not the tallest player out there, but has shown a history of being able to do those one-on-one tackles.
Jive. Fires. Caught by Corky. First down to the 36-yard line. Just Greg's 2nd catch on 4th target. It's a big one.
Yeah, the numbers for Jive, I mean, they're not off the chart, but he's had some fantastic passes tonight, and that's one at the top there.
His first playoff game, he has looked unfazed by the moment, even with Mojo McClain having a couple sacks here recently. First down and 10, 6.5 to go. Jive again with McClain on his backside, and Michael Knight's got a first down into Carolina territory.
Michael Knight, I mean, he's been balling out tonight as well, running great routes, and that one, another good adjustment where he had to turn around, and adjust to catch the ball when he knew he was going to get lit up by the defender.
This is a really impressive showing by Albuquerque on the road. They are making things very difficult, win or lose. They have got to feel a lot of positive momentum out of their season, Charles. This is an expansion team making the playoffs. They won a bunch of games down the stretch. They haven't really been tested in terms of playoff caliber teams in the last couple of months, but they are passing the test here today. They're just down 7.
I mean, they've played well against who they had to play against, and I think it's just a prime example of the leadership on that team and how well they've done.
2nd and 7. Diedrich pushing ahead, gets 4. Now the most critical 3rd down of the game. 3rd and 3. They're 5 of 12.
I sound like a broken record for those of you that listen to me. I think now's the time to either run it or do a short route, be a little more conservative.
Jive has to get rid of it and does, and it's caught. K. Marion to the 24-yard line. Oh, that was a brilliant throw from Jive with all sorts of Skyhawks in blue bearing down.
Yeah, I did that on purpose because I knew that they were going to throw a medium route, a fly route to Marion, and it was going to work perfectly.
Under 5 to go. K. Marion over 100 yards. Michael Knight's up to 91 on 5 catches, and Jives nearly got 250. Back to the ground game. Jason Williams inside the 20. Mike Ryan and company bring him down after a 4-yard pickup.
Just like that, they're knocking on the door, Cam. This is turning out to be a fabulous game for the first game in the playoffs.
Yeah. An unbelievable start to this postseason. It has been a great, very well-played football game by both sides. 2nd and 6, coming up on 4 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Jive, handoff. Diedrich found some space on the outside. Mike Ryan puts him in the dirt. His 3rd tackle. He also has 4 pass deflections. Another critical 3rd down.
I think it could have turned out to be a lot worse if they didn't make that adjustment pre-snap and send Carswell in motion, get that extra blocking at the top of the screen.
9 in the box for Carolina, just a single high. 2 in the backfield for Albuquerque. Jive, hands it off. Williams dropped in the backfield. 4th down. Abari Amaniglan with his biggest play of the game. And I think if you're Albuquerque, you can still kick the field goal, play some defense. No, they're going to go for it, Charles.
I think it makes sense at this point.
4th down. Jive to keep the drive alive. It is incomplete. Knocked away. I thought Marion had held on, but a number of Skyhawks right at the goal line to knock the pass away.
Yeah, there were 3 Skyhawks around Marion, and it was just, man, they were there. They hit him, made sure he didn't catch it, and wow, that's unfortunate. That was a good drive by Albuquerque, but that defense, Carolina just dug their heels in and, dictated the terms and now they have the ball.
Shravan Prasad, Mike Ryan, and one other were in the area. That was a very difficult pass for Jive to get completed, but Carolina cannot rest just yet as Riley Quintero is put in the dirt by TJ Frosty, his 10th tackle. Albuquerque's defense willing the Adams to stay alive.
Yeah, that was a huge tackle. I mean, they haven't shown a lot of that tonight, but man, if you're going to put it on the field, now's the right time to do it.
Under 3 to go. Albuquerque still with all 3 timeouts. The 9-seeded Adams versus the 8-seeded Skyhawks to start the playoffs. 10 versus 7. Charleston versus Fort Worth coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on SFL YouTube. South hands the ball off and nothing there again. Prasad dragged down. We haven't talked about Seth Berlin much today, Charles, but that's his 7th tackle. He has been great.
Yeah, and Seth Berlin was involved in that. Also, Bryant James, strong safety, came out of nowhere. I mean, he was going 90 miles an hour, ran up through the gap and helped on that play.
3rd down and 8. This quite arguably might be Matt South's biggest throw of his career. 8 of 15 for 97 yards. To convert the down, they will snap the ball before the 2-minute warning. 3rd down and 8. And they run it to Hanzo. They keep it conservative. He does not get the 1st down. We have the 2-minute warning, and Albuquerque gets the ball back.
Yeah, that's a crazy call there. I mean, wow. I mean, that's the first run of Hanzo all night. Didn't have any reps. I mean, coming out there a little cold from a running standpoint, but now we're looking at getting the ball back for Albuquerque, and man, this could be one of the best endings of a playoff game.
You know what that's called, Charles? We trust in our defense just a little bit more than our passing game right now.
Yep.
And the punt is away from the 40 on the return. Not much there, but Shanahan does hold on to the ball. Skippy Curtis yet another special teams tackle. 1st and 10 of the 41. 59 yards to go for Albuquerque to get it back down there and get into the end zone. And if you think about it, Charles, if they would have kicked the field goal on the last drive, this would be for the win.
Yeah, definitely.
Still 5.3 yards per play for the Adams. It's so rare to have yards per play over 5 in the SFL. 3-by-1 for Jive. This is now his moment, and Jive's pass is incomplete. Threw it into a mess of traffic. TD Jack on coverage.
I don't necessarily hate the play. The routes were, I think at this point, Cam, based on what Carolina's shown, I don't think they're going to be too effective. And, watch them go deep for the touchdown here. Not very effective on those deep routes. Shown an ability to complete the short and mid-range. Let's see if they go to it here. I think it could be effective.
Charles willing the deep ball into existence. 2nd down and 10 of the 41. Jive rolls to his right and is dicked. Mojo McClain off the edge with another brutal hit, and Albuquerque's forced to burn a timeout.
Wow. Those rollouts they're dangerous. I mean, you have to have perfect execution, especially by your outside blocking. On that one, there was a breakdown, and McClain just tore it up.
3rd and long for Jive. Got to get something positive on this play. Dumps it short. There's nothing there. And now on 4th and 16, Charles, they're really in some trouble because they have not gotten any positive yardage on this drive. You just never know what's going to happen.
Oh, my gosh. That one play just disrupted the whole flow of the Albuquerque offense. Let's see if they can recover. This is a big test for them.
4th and 16 for the ball game. Carolina's defense winning in the second half. Jive, deep throw down the field. It's incomplete. Oh, he had a man. Could not bring it in. Skippy Curtis in coverage. And Carolina's going to the quarterfinals.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. What a game, Cam. Defense of Carolina, I mean, they're dangerous when they go back in deep coverage. I mean, there's not many teams that can make a completion on them on those deep routes. And, I mean, they had to do it. Albuquerque had to do it. But, man, they were throwing into the Lions' den.
Charles, at the end of the day, all you want out of that type of situation, and I actually don't think Carolina's going to be able to run it out totally here, but all you want out of that situation is to throw for the first down, right? To give your guy a chance. I mean, so often over the years we see, a throw short or a sack or just not even having a chance. Albuquerque had a chance there, just like they did on the last 4th down. They just could not come up with it.
I mean, it's unfortunate. I think that one rollout play just kind of blew it up. Just took the wind out of their sails.
So Albuquerque, with no timeouts, will get an outside shot at a possible just insane ending. It would take a miracle at this point. Huge shout out to Carolina's defense and specifically, Mojo McClain, Danny Stinson have been monsters. McClain's been playing a lot of the game on the defensive line as that outside linebacker, but Albuquerque has nothing to be ashamed about in this game. They played a phenomenal game, and to enter the playoffs, Charles, and have 0 turnovers in a ball game is really just a testament to both organizations and their preparation today.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, and they kept their cool. It looked like, they were kind of on the ropes there by the end of the first half. Not down by a lot of points, but they made some good adjustments at halftime. They stayed in it and had a couple chances to shorten the 7-point lead, even tie the game. And that's showing a lot for a new team like this. And as I said earlier, it gives a lot of credit there to the leadership at Albuquerque. I mean, I think we've got some good things ahead from that organization.
See what Carolina does here on the punt as they continue their conservative second half. It's actually going to go out of bounds with 6 seconds left. So really Albuquerque's only shot, Charles, is if they hit Marion on a bomb or Michael Dyda. Somebody just gets open, makes something silly out of it.
Yeah, I mean, we're at Hail Mary at this point.
6 seconds left in Albuquerque's season. Cyrus Jive drops to throw, fires it long. It is caught. Marion almost broke a tackle and down at the 40. Game over. I thought Marion had a chance there. Wow. Carolina survives and advances 17-10 the final.
Congratulations to Carolina. I mean, hats off to the coaching staff for Carolina. They had an outstanding, one of the best running game plans I've seen in a while. I mean, they just took control of it. Defense for Carolina, especially the secondary, just hung in. You know, they let the ball come to them, and anything that got in their zip code, they just smacked it down. I mean, well played. Matt South had some plays where he extended the drive because of some creativity on his part. I think his numbers won't necessarily show it, but I think he had a pretty solid game leading the team. So many accolades you can give to the individuals, but I think overall you gotta point out the leadership on Carolina, the coaching, the playbook. I mean, I'm so proud of that organization for going to the next round. I mean, I'll be cheering for them.
So Carolina will await their first round or second round opponent. It will depend on the results of the rest of the weekend. Fort Worth takes on Charleston Saturday. Did you say your player of the game, Charles?
I did not. I was just kind of rambling on, but I would give it to. I'm going to give it to the two-headed monster of Quintero and Prasad.
I'll give it to McLean with the 3 sacks. Fort Worth and Charleston Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. That is today. Coming up next in about an hour's time, and then tomorrow, Arizona and Atlanta take on each other at 6:30 Eastern, and then at 9, Baltimore hosts Lexington. For Ron Haynes and Rochelle Colston. In our stats truck, Charles Doherty on analysis. Me and Charles will see you for the championship. Enjoy the rest of the postseason and enjoy Cameron Duty and Rochelle Colston's call of Fort Worth Charleston coming up. Have a great night, everybody.